This bill, Mr. Chairman, institutionalizes inadequacies and inefficiencies, especially at the central government level. The buck has to stop somewhere, Mr. Chair. And for better coordination of disaster management and mitigation efforts, the NDMA should have been it. They should have been upgraded to a department of the Government of India, even if not to a ministry, but it remains subordinate to the Home Minister. Even the question of its leadership has not been satisfactorily addressed. It's officially chaired by the Prime Minister. It's normally overseen by Vice Chairperson, who has the rank of a Cabinet Minister. But bafflingly, Clause 3 of this bill says any member of the NDMA is authorized to perform the day-to-day functions of the authority, forgetting that the political heft of a ministerial rank is vital for dealing with states and other ministries and departments of the Union. So, Mr. Chairman, this bill, in its ostensible pursuit to decentralize the decision-making process regarding funds, manages to do something utterly bizarre. It dilutes the entire purpose of a National Disaster Response Fund by removing the specific uses for which the fund was intended. One of the most pressing criticisms of the old Act was the excessive centralization of fund allocation. Many of our states have complained about this, especially when disasters are categorized as severe. The debilitating human cost of such a disaster demands from the centre a sense of urgency, completely absent in the proposed framework. That the centre is bereft of the sense of urgency, let alone of any compassion. It has proved very often, especially when disaster relief funds from the NDA were casually denied to Tamil Nadu and only disbursed to Karnataka after an inordinate delay. In 2023, when Tamil Nadu and Karnataka found themselves on the brink of catastrophe, they were compelled to move the Supreme Court to access the much-needed NDRF fund. Another damaging aspect of this bill, it seeks to weaken the National Executive Committee and the State Executive Committees, staffed to the level of secretaries to the governments of India and the states, which are supposed to formulate national level and state level disaster management plans. If this bill passes, the NDMA and the SDMAs will instead assume this power. At the same time, these committees will remain the coordinating bodies for relief, rehabilitation and reconstruction during and after natural disasters, saddling them in effect with the responsibility for exercising disaster management plans that they did not formulate. So you've got to execute something that you did not actually come up with. This flies in the complete logic of the original purpose of these committees, which was to foster greater collaboration amongst various ministries of the union and state governments. Federalism, cooperative federalism. Where is the cooperative federalism here? So the bill's major weakness has throughout been its inability to innovate on institutional mechanisms to deal with disaster risk. Although it achieves coordination for greater risk management, it offers no clarity on how to achieve such coordination in practice amongst a wide range of institutions, split both vertically and horizontally, and including non-government, private and civil society elements. By the way, Mr. Chairman, and the Minister has not noted this, disaster relief, rehabilitation and reconstruction is still not a justiciable right in India. The Indian state has for far too long undertaken relief measures as an obligation, not a duty. It must discharge that duty in fulfillment of its citizens' inviolable rights. But let me ask the Honourable Minister in all earnestness, what good will bulldozing this bill through Parliament do if it cannot prevent another Wayanad? Where are the provisions for disaster prevention, like landslide mapping, coastal protection measures? It will not do India and Indians any good merely to create a framework that does not actually devolve any powers upon the states, upon local urban bodies, upon self-government units in our country.
Thank you, Shashi
What is
Tharoor
needed, sir? 1 minute. Stricter streamlining of a scattered policy framework. There is far too many authorities and bureaucratic muddles. An end to the concentration of powers in the centre's hands. A genuine attempt to learn from our failures at navigating past disasters and keep up with the challenging realities of climate change. A revised bill should allow for expertise, independent of committees, streamline and clarify the role of the bodies.
Next speaker, Sri Trivendra Singh Rawat ji.
Given,
Please conclude.
It should also give MPs a right to be heard. 1 second. I'm just finishing.
Please complete.
It should make disaster relief a legal right, revive the parliamentary forum on disaster management to give the MPs' views a chance to be heard.
Okay.
And this bill does not have any of these qualities. Therefore, it must be returned to the drawing board, and I urge the minister to withdraw the bill.